I just want to ask, what's got you been out of shape? What's got you wearing a mask? We're trying to figure out who we are, our identity, amen? And we're just going to take a trip to the ER. We're going to just swing by the ER this afternoon and see what it is exactly that has us wearing masks, what it is that has us bent out of shape, amen? What issues is it that we're really wrestling with today? Everybody signed in when they came in this afternoon? Consider, no? Who didn't get to sign in? 3 or 4? Okay, we want to make sure you get signed in before you leave. But everybody signed in to the emergency room this morning. Amen? And then some of you all believe that, you know, I'm just here because my mother invited me or a friend invited me. I'm not really sick. I don't really have an issue. There's not really anything going on with me. But I believe that you had a divine appointment here today, whether you realize it yet or not. Amen. This appointment was made for you a long time ago. Despite whether you just agreed to it last week, yesterday, or today, or if you just consider yourself a walk-in, you have found yourself in the ER today. Amen. Today we're talking about the person, the patient. She signed in. This is a woman that just showed up at the synagogue, at church. Consider it yourself. Amen. You just showed up at Identity 2013 today, knowing that the hospital, the church is a hospital for the sick. Amen. And if there's anything that's wrong, if there's anything going on with you today, that you can be healed if you want to heal it. Amen. Next we have the problem. And the problem we will figure out at triage. When you go to the hospital, amen. Look, and don't y'all be distracted by the baby, amen. Because we've all had babies, amen. We've all been a baby and we've all cried at some time. Some of y'all are crying right now. We just can't hear it. In the name of Jesus, amen. Amen. So, next we find ourselves in the triage. And at triage, you discuss what's bothering you. Why are you here today? How long have you felt this way? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of pain? 10 being the worst. What have you taken? How have you tried to fix this situation yourself? Amen. And they take your vital signs in this area. Amen. This is where triage is. This is where they find out what the problem really is. What mask are you really wearing? Why is it exactly that you're so bent out of shape? And understand that according to the text, it said it was a spirit of infirmity that was released, that had plagued her all these years. And the term infirmity is defined as a condition or disease producing weakness. It is also defined as a failing or defect in a person's character. What has caused you to be weak or defective? Amen. Understand, this isn't a new problem for her. This has been going on 18 years. Now understand, 18 years is no period of time if you're having fun. If things are going the way you want them to go. If your marriage is great, if your children are wonderful, if you've had a career that you're enjoying, if you've gone to school and now you have a career that you went to school for, 18 years is nothing. If life is great, if you're traveling and having fun. But what if in those 18 years, all 18 years are full of hell, are full of heartache and heartbreak? Things didn't go exactly the way you planned. You were married to the person you thought you would be married for all your life. But he didn't act right. Or he found somebody else that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. Or your children weren't who they were raised to be and wound up being imprisoned or went off on their own or did whatever. 18 years is a long time when things aren't going according to plan. 18 years is a long time when you find possessions being repossessed, houses being bankrupt, bank accounts being messed up. 18 years is a long time when things aren't going as scheduled. Amen. And for 18 years, she had been bound with this infirmity, this spirit of infirmity. Now, understand that this infirmity, we said, will cause weakness. It produces weakness or a person's character to be resentment, sexual immorality, or even a spirit of unforgiveness? What is it that has weighed you down month after month, year after year, keeping you from being all that God has called you to be? It could have been something that happened early in your childhood, but it's still hindering you. It could have been some type of abuse, whether it be physical or mental or verbal. Amen. That can cause you to be in a place, amen, that you don't desire to be, much longer than you ever desired to be there. Amen. Sometimes we think we're over something, we're healed. You know what, that happens years ago. But yet my behavior is still saying I'm affected. Amen. And I'm still doing things, amen, that says that situation, even though it's long ago, amen, it's still causing me pain. It's still causing me to be weak. It's still causing me to be defective in my spirit. What is it that has you bent out of shape and wearing a mask that you don't want anybody to know that you've been through? Amen. What has happened to you that has scarred you in such a way that you don't want to share it with anybody? You'd rather hide it behind the mask. Amen. You'd rather wear a smile and some makeup and make everybody believe that everything's okay, when deep down inside you're dying. You're struggling with this thing. What is it that has you so bent over? Amen. And will you tell the doctor about it today? Amen. Will you let him know? Because the physician is in the house. Amen. It's not just the medical doctor, but the great physician is in the house and wanting to heal you from whatever it is that you're going through. But you're still trying to figure out, who am I? Amen. And I didn't mention her sickness under the person, because she's not defined by her sickness or her situation, her issue or her illness. I'm not defined by my sickness or situation, issue or illness. Nor are you defined by your sickness, your situation, your issue or your illness. Amen. I'm not that person. I know I've been through some things. I know I've hid and covered up some things. But that's not who I really am. It's not the real me. It's not really who I am. This me, this sick me, this confused me, this I know I should do something different me, this I want to change, but I don't know how me, this I want more for me and my kids me, this worn out me, this tired of being tired me, this tired of being bent over me, this tired of wearing a mask me. It's not the real me. I know there is so much more to me, but I don't know who I am. She's a walking zombie, amen. She appears to be halfway alive on the outside, although she's bent over, but she's dying on the inside. And so many of us are just like this woman that's been bent over for 18 years. I may not know how long you've been bent over. Only you know. Amen. But if we can all be truthful with ourselves, we've been bent over at some point in our lives from some situation or another. We've been worried